Green Lantern issue 28, Legacy number 595, Jeremy Adams and V Kenneth Marion on the art. Which I'll get the disappointment out of the way first of all, is that V Kenneth Marion is just kind of okay at best for me art wise. And the downgrade from Zermanico is immediate, it is swift, and the faces really like show me that. You know, the faces really stick out to me that we're on a different artist, and you know, like overall the layouts are fine and that kind of, you know, the expressions are mostly okay. I just don't really like kind of the overly pointy lips that are going up and down. Like if you look at that second page with Jo, and she's got like one side of her lip like pointing up the way, and then the bottom lip's pointing down the way on the other side. It's almost a Sylvester Stallone mouth for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Adrian. Like that's what I'm seeing when I look at that. But that said, though, this is obviously after we've had the crossover and we're camming things down into the next part of whatever we're doing with Green Lantern. And I like that the supporting cast is still here. We're still doing some stuff with Kyle and Odyssey and Superboy. The start of the book, though, is Guy with Jo, and they're looking for the Book of Oa, back where all the Dark Star or Starbreaker castles were. And they find the Book of Oa, and Guy's excited because, there's some parts that were hard to like see or translate because they were in different spectrums, but the Starbreakers were able to do it. So he's nerding out. Jo's calling him a nerd. He's saying he's not a nerd, he's a history buff. And then she's like, no, you're a nerd. And
again, let me say my love of Guy Gardner shows through again, because I've been part of this conversation. I was like, I'm not a history nerd, I'm a history buff. No, you're a nerd. You're look how you're acting right now. And I was like, God damn it, Guy Gardner, point in the mirror again.
Yep. Oh, you are a nerd, man. No mistake. You let's not question that. You've got a DC Comics podcast for almost 500 episodes. There's no way you're not a nerd.
Yes. Oh no, but I was talking to them like specific things.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
But here having Guy be this guy who's, you know, he's the most meat-headed Lantern. Him loving history too is just, it's also very, very PE teacher of him, which Guy has those vibes. So but yeah, this is where I think Marion's art, you're talking about it. I feel like this is where I liked it the best until we get to the close-ups. I feel like the stuff with all of the ruins and then some of the expressions on Guy and Jo, this is where I feel it's the strongest. You know, but I think it just comes down to taste at the end of the day, because I don't say it's bad by any means. But yeah, I really love this front part more than the back half.
Yeah, well, the big reveal here, though, is that this new information is just a full page with giant letters saying Hal Jordan in the Book of Oa. And like, oh shit, that shouldn't be there. What's going on? So cut to Hal Jordan. And this is, to be fair, to add to your point, it was Hal's face on this page. It made me go, oh, I'm not as into this art.
Yep.
So, you know, take that for what you will. To be fair, I do think the alien dude that he's grabbing, the prisoner, I think he looks quite good, but he's like a wolf
Fox
or fox
guy.
man, yeah. So very different. So Hal's just flying this guy around Coast City, and then he gets the call to come to Oa because they have to like ask him about this book stuff. So they go do that. We see that basically our B team of Kyle, Odyssey, and Connor are trying to test Kyle's powers because he can turn into a White Lantern, but after he like does his White Lantern blast, which sounds kind of dirty now that I'm saying it out loud, he like loses his powers for a little bit and he can't recharge for a while, so they're testing how long that's going to be. And I really enjoyed this stuff because everything here with Odyssey calling them, saying this is Zargnod, and like, what's Zargnod? I think she means it's stupid, and he's like, yeah, this is totally Zargnod. He's like, no, what's the opposite of Zargnod? It's this. And then after it happens, he's like, oh, I'm such a Zargnod. Like, I thought that banter back and forth was quite funny. And then also the idea that after it happens and we get, you know, Kyle going White Lantern and doing the big blast, and that intercedes with Hal coming in because Hal like catches Connor flying through the air because he gets sent flying, is you just have Odyssey in the background counting, and she's going 1 Thanagarian, 2 Thanagarian, 3 Thanagarian. How long does it take until Kyle can recharge? And I'm like, you're doing this test and didn't think a stopwatch would be a good idea to bring with you?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked all this. I thought this was fun, like side character banter stuff.
I love that too. The banter between Kyle and Connor too, and where he's just like, you know, what if I vaporize you in the process? And he's like, dude, I'm Superboy. I'm betting I barely feel it. Too, when he does get hit and he gets knocked almost into space, right? And it's just,
Well, actually, my
him
favorite,
overestimating his stuff as well.
my favorite part of that though is when he says, "I'm Superboy. I'm probably barely going to feel it." That's when Odyssey turns and says, "You know what? I changed my mind. Do it." Like she was trying to talk them out of it, thinking it was stupid up until that point. But as soon as Connor got arrogant and like cocky, she's like, "All right, you know what? Actually, changed my mind. Blast him."
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was fun
stuff. Fun.
Yeah. So Hal runs into Jess and the Guardian, and they go to see Guy, and they talk about the book. And Hal, when he sees this page of the book, he like reacts like he's been beamed full of knowledge, although he doesn't remember it afterwards. But there is like one little moment where he just turns and says, "None of it is what we thought." And this like paths off. They're taking him to like med bay because he's kind of sick after that until he wakes up. And so Jess is here being all boss lady, as Guy calls her. And we follow the Guardian, who's currently the Yellow Lantern Guardian, because obviously from the last arc they've all got different colors.
Yeah.
He goes to the others and says, "Oh, all that stuff like we didn't know because we hid it from ourselves in the past. Like Hal Jordan knows it deep down. We have to like figure out the rest of our knowledge because they've had some of it back when Krona's glove like activated, but they don't have all of it yet. So we're teasing whatever this next big thing we're doing." And the Green Lantern mythos is that some secrets from the formation of it all is going to change things again, which is pretty well written here. It is fun. I will say, I feel like every second arc we're revealing more about the creation of the Green Lanterns and what the Guardians did back in the day. We do kind of repeat that a lot in Green Lantern, so I'll critique it for that, for sure.
It's just that the Guardians are super shifty, and that's what we just have to come to terms with, that we're always going to find out the skeletons they buried.
Yeah. I will say though, I do love that Krona is in this weird half melted Hal Jordan body. I think he looks kind of cool. I'm into it. He does.
Well, I feel like this is Hal's cyborg Superman, right? So Krona Hal is kind of the same kind of vibe. Where he's half melted. He has the big, the big gauntlet on his hand. Yeah, so it's cool.
But the half melted though is like more flesh melted, so he's got like muscles showing and like skins dripping down, and it's just very horror movie. I kind of like it. I like that it's implying something big for Hal Jordan, as is his name in the book, obviously implying something big. But I love that it didn't work, so now we get this really interestingly distinct looking villain. So I don't know, I'm into it. You get a page of him here, and that's all fine. So yeah, Hal flies back to Earth. And he basically pulls Carol out of a Justice League meeting, and they're all happy to see each other. They get with the smoochies, but then he has like a vision of the future, teasing what's to come, and he sees melted Hal, Krona, whatever we're going to call him. I guess we'll just call him Krona, but like, he sees that. He sees the Guardians fighting. Well, it looks like just Hal, honestly. We see like the different lantern colors like forming like a star alignment in space.
Yeah,
and we see a big
constellation.
Yeah, we see a big tower somewhere. So it's teasing whatever we're doing next, and all of it is quite exciting. But at the end of the issue is Hal's going off because he hears that there's a distress call from Star City, and Carol says, "Oh, you're not going to be back in time for dinner. I know who you end up hanging out with when you go to Star City." So it says next time, hard traveling heroes, and Carol's a little bit worried about Hal and what he's going through, because he's clearly having these like episodes now because of whatever happened with the book. So yeah. I mean, I think this was a solid first part of a new arc. Art being a little not to my taste to the side, but I think the thing for me is that Jeremy Adams, I enjoy his run. I'm going to have a good time, but there is this consistent thing of the arcs always starting stronger than the end. He always seems to rush the finishes a little bit. Not quite like Williamson, where Williamson just seems to rush things constantly all over the place. It's more just like the big fight at the end always feels a little bit anticlimactic. But I'm digging the teasing that he's doing. I like this villain, this version of Krona. I love that it's been kind of intermingled with the last arc, so it doesn't just feel new and out of nowhere. It feels like, oh no, we've been kind of building to this a little bit. And that his relationship with Carol still matters. This B squad of characters isn't going anywhere. We're still doing stuff with Kyle and Odyssey and Connor. So yeah, decent time. I had fun.
Yeah. Well, I also want to add to that the now that the Guardians are all color coded too, right? So it definitely makes all the energy there. It seems like there's a unifying force, and then like they all act as they're supposed to, right? So like the red one, reacts angrily to the Krona stuff, and then it's the fear Guardian that's pointing stuff out. And I also like that he has like a big old bushy mustache. So kind of like, he's got a mustache like Sinestro, so we could tie that together, you know. And then
Very
that panel of
different
them,
kind of mustache, Matt. Come on, Sinestro's got a little thin thing, you know?
Yeah, but still, it's easy to recognize him, outside just the color. But it does feel like when we get to that panel of the Guardians surrounding Hal, it doesn't necessarily seem like they're attacking him, right? It almost seems like to me, it looks like they're powering him up for something.
Oh, maybe. I mean, it looks like they're blasting him with something, but yeah, you could read that as they're juicing him a little bit.
Yeah, so they're all surrounded him and stuff. So, yeah, I like that it's playing with that kind of visiony thing here, and what Marion does, where the panels are a little bit like oblong, and they're not exactly straight angles. There's a bit of a curve and stuff to them. So, but yeah, it's a good solid start to the next arc.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. I'm just really glad the supporting cast hasn't been forgotten about, because especially the team of like Kyle and Odyssey and that, it felt like they were put together specifically for the last like crossover.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that they're sticking around in some capacity. So cool.
Yeah.
All right, what are you giving Green Lantern?
I'm gonna give this a straight 7.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think I would maybe bump it up a little bit, but the art, not quite being for me, probably keeps it at the 7.